You're watching the station that's working for you. Now, WMAR 2 News at 11.
Thanks for staying up with us for WMAR 2 News at 11. I'm Mallory Safaste. A Morgan State University student shot on campus this homecoming weekend. WMAR 2 News' Abby Isaacs joins us from Montebello Complex where it happened. Abby, how is that student doing?
University officials say the student was released from the hospital today and is expected to make a full recovery.
It was a lot of people out, so I know it was just a lot of chaos.
A shooting on Morgan State University campus as students and alumni were celebrating homecoming.
Everybody's just pretty much having fun.
It happened Saturday evening near the Montebello Complex off Argonne Drive during celebrations after the homecoming football game.
We're freshmen on the campus. This is a new area, new environment, new people. So the fact that they're shooting on our actual campus was actually very scary.
An 18-year-old student sustained non-life-threatening injuries and is expected to fully recover.
We're really praying for his safety. His family is in our prayers because that's your child. You sent your child to go to school to get an education, not to be shot at a straight bullet. You know, that's so scary.
The shooting during such a high-profile weekend has raised questions for some students.
It's an open campus, so anyone can come on and, do whatever. And I feel as if it should be gated off for our safety.
I believe they are doing the best they can, but, you can't really, when it's like hundreds of people, thousands, you can't really control, or no one's really getting, checked or anything like that, which is, could have been definitely avoided.
University officials say the shooting is being investigated by Baltimore police as an isolated incident and not a random occurrence. The school's president spoke with the student's parent and met with Mayor Brandon Scott and Police Commissioner Michael Harrison after the incident. He said in a statement to the community, quote, "There is no place on this campus for violence. I can assure you that if you are not in alignment with these core values, we will not hesitate to send you home," end quote. The university is offering counseling services to students who need it. On Morgan State University campus, Abby Isaacs, WMAR 2 News.
Abby, thank you. And Baltimore police confirm 7 people were shot Friday night on West North Avenue. Of those victims, a 19-year-old man is in critical condition. 2 other men and 4 women were also injured. Investigators say a silver Ford Explorer was seen driving down the street and the person or persons inside opened fire on the group. At least 3 murders in Baltimore City today. Emergency crews responded to a vehicle fire shortly after 7:30 this morning on Franklintown Road. After putting out the flames, they found a woman dead in the passenger seat. Police say she had been shot. And a murder this morning in Southeast Baltimore. A man was shot multiple times in the 2800 block of Mannequin Street. He died at the scene, and a man was shot and killed today on South Fulton Avenue. A new tribute to a fallen hero. Here's a look at the new Unity Playground at Gunpowder Elementary School. It's dedicated to fallen Baltimore County Police Officer Amy Caprio. The ribbon-cutting ceremony took place Saturday. Caprio was killed in the line of duty in 2018 after responding to a series of burglaries in Perry Hall. Tonight, 609 people are in the hospital battling COVID-19. That's 32 fewer than yesterday. Our positivity rate is down slightly to 3.1%. There are 717 new cases of the coronavirus in the past 24 hours. And tomorrow, Governor Hogan will give a COVID-19 update that's set for 2 p.m. The FDA is set to meet this week to discuss vaccinations for children ages 5 to 11 years old. This as boosters for all 3 vaccines become available for all vaccinated Americans. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Younger Americans may soon be eligible to get vaccinated against COVID-19, with the key FDA panel set to meet Tuesday to review Pfizer's new trial data. The data showing at 1/3 of the adult dose, Pfizer's vaccine is nearly 91% effective in kids ages 5 to 11.
If you look at the data that's been made public and announced by the company, the data look good as to the efficacy and the safety.
It's expected the FDA will recommend emergency use authorization for the vaccine for that age group. Then it's up to the CDC's advisory committee to give the official green light.
It's entirely possible, if not very likely, that vaccines will be available for children from 5 to 11 within the first week or two of November.
This as more Americans become eligible to get that extra dose of protection. Boosters of Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J given the all clear to go into the arms of 70 million people who are already vaccinated. Health officials say it's safe to choose a different vaccine brand from your original shot. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky speaking to NBC.
We saw data from the NIH on mix and match that antibody levels for the mRNA vaccines boosting the J&J were really, really high. And we also saw clinical data from J&J that said if you're boosted with J&J, you actually do quite well as well, which is why we've really left it open and said any one of these vaccines can really be used to boost any one of the others.
Experts are urging Americans to get that booster dose. Walgreens and CVS offering boosters at thousands of locations across the country.
We are here, ready, and available to ensure that we protect each and every one.
Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
It's already the last week of the month. Let's check in with meteorologist Sabrina Fine. Sabrina, how's this week looking for anyone who needs to finish putting out those Halloween decorations?
It's going to look a little bit more like spring, at least for us on our Monday, meaning warm temperatures and the chance of severe thunderstorms rolling through. It's all in part due to the fact that we have a warm front coming through tonight, colliding with a cold front tomorrow. That sets the stage, gives us all the ingredients for severe weather to begin to pop, especially over the evening on Monday. The main threat going to be damaging winds or an isolated tornado. You can see the shading in green there. Marginal risk means category 1 out of 5 for us as far as a severe weather stretch. You can still see the storm system that's going to cause the severe weather moving right now throughout portions of Missouri. That's what's coming our way. So we have a lot of hours. I would give it most likely about 24 hours before we start to see some of those thunderstorms rocking and rolling in the area. Baltimore right now looking at 63 degrees with mostly clear skies. Odenton's about 57. Middle River right around 63 degrees. We are going to end up seeing cloudy skies tonight, though, as we do have that warm front coming through by 8 a.m. 60 degrees as you drink that nice warm cup of joe, and by 9 a.m. you're looking at 63. Starting to see some of those showers beginning to pop later Monday night through Tuesday, and it is going to be a lot. We'll end up seeing maybe an inch out towards Inner Harbor and Annapolis. Coming up, we'll break down the timing to your area. Mallory?
Sabrina, thank you. The latest on the investigation into the deadly shooting on the set of Alec Baldwin film Rust in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The family of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins speaking out in her memory as many wonder how this could have happened. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
42-year-old cinematographer Halyna Hutchins was a wife, mother, daughter, and sister to Svetlana Androsevich, who says in a statement, "I cannot comprehend her passing. I loved her very much. I was very proud of her, and she was my role model. This loss is a great grief for our family." The film community in New Mexico also honoring her life and work.
Every day, everybody on the camera team was proud to be there for her, because we were proud of what we were creating.
Hutchins was fatally shot by actor Alec Baldwin on the set of the Western film Rust Thursday.
Her death shouldn't have happened.
According to court records, the assistant director gave the gun to Baldwin, saying it was cold, meaning it was empty, but it wasn't. Hutchins was shot in the chest. Director Joel Souza was also hurt.
There are many factors that will be considered by investigators, and the first question is who loaded that live ammunition into that gun? Who handled the gun after the live ammunition was put into the gun? Who knew about the live ammunition? And then there are all these questions about safety protocols and the failure to follow those safety protocols.
One Rust crew member telling ABC News the issue of gun safety had been brought up by the camera crew and brushed off repeatedly by producers. In the past week, there were at least 2 accidental discharges of the prop gun on set, according to that crew member, who said a list of safety and other concerns prompted almost the entire camera department to walk off the set just hours before the shooting. But Halyna Hutchins stayed.
It's possible there could be multiple people that could face criminal charges.
The production company tells Variety magazine they were not made aware of any official complaints concerning weapon or prop safety. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
A disappointing Sunday for football fans here in Baltimore. The Ravens lost to the Cincinnati Bengals in a blowout and now enter the bye week in second place. The first half was a defensive battle. The Ravens trailed at halftime 13-10. They took the lead early in the third quarter on a 39-yard touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson and Marquise Hollywood Brown. But after that, the Bengals took complete control of the game. They scored 28 unanswered points. Cincy quarterback Joe Burrow passed for a career-high 416 yards and 3 touchdowns, much of it against Ravens cornerback Marlon Humphrey, who had a tough day out there. Bengals rookie receiver Jamar Chase had 201 yards receiving and a touchdown. The final score was Cincy 41, Ravens 17. Both teams are now 5-2, but the Bengals are in first place in the AFC North because of the tiebreaker.
It hurt, period, because I lost. We lost, not just myself, we lost, and I hate losing, like you said, it don't really matter when it comes. I just hate it, period.
We do too, yep. The Ravens now enter their bye week. They return to action November 7th when they host the Minnesota Vikings. A woman's Facebook account is hacked and she gets locked out. Steps to take to prevent it from happening to you. Plus, most bank fees are rising. How much money you're paying for an overdraft or an interest checking account.
You know where you're going. Now get there in the stunningly innovative new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. Take one out for just $239 a month at Superior Mitsubishi. Get high style without the high price, plus the reliability of the 10-year limited warranty at Superior Mitsubishi.
Ordinary tissues burn when Theo blows. So Dad bought Puffs Plus lotion and rescued his nose. With up to 50% more lotion, Puffs brings soothing softness and relief. A nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
Did you know some deodorants may not last all day? Secret works immediately and is designed to last for up to 48 hours. With Secret, keep it fresh. Available in over 10 amazing scents and aluminum-free. Secret.
At MedStar Health, we're doing everything we can to prepare for what if. Like, what if you need care right now? We have the region's largest network of urgent care centers. Or what if you think you're out of options? Patients continue to turn to us after losing hope elsewhere. Or what if you can't get to care? Our mobile care units bring care to our communities. Because treating people means being prepared to treat them when what if happens. MedStar Health. It's how we treat people.
That was fun.
Alexa, play our dance playlist.
Your playlist, dance.
I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything.
Alexa, turn on the living room lights. Turning on lights.
Alexa, can you pause time?
Let's just enjoy the moment.
Hurry in for exceptional offers on the new BMW X3 with Alexa built in.
The 2 for $8 Classic Mother Cruncher or Big Buford deal from Checkers isn't just a deal, it's a big deal. Get 2 Classic Mother Crunchers, 2 Big Bufords, or 1 of each for just $8. You've earned it. Get it delivered through our new Awards app.
You're watching the station that's working for you. Now, WMAR 2 News.
Many of us depend on our Facebook pages to keep up with all of our friends and family. Now imagine that someone hacked it, locking you out. WMAR 2 News consumer reporter John Matarese has important tips to keep your login safe so you don't waste your money.
An alarming number of Facebook users are finding they can't log in because someone has hacked their page, locking them out. If that happens, what can you do? Kathy Ebert used Facebook to keep in touch with friends from years as a hospital researcher, until a few weeks ago.
I went to get on Facebook and I was denied access to my page.
Someone locked her out, shutting off dozens of former colleagues scattered around the world. When she searched for herself, she was shocked what turned up.
It was my profile picture from my page with an erroneous address. And the name linked to it was someone named Thomas Wilson.
A recent NPR report says account hacking appears widespread this year. Facebook will not confirm it, but experts are not sure if users are falling victim to phishing scams or maybe victims of automated hacking bots. The problem is you can't call Facebook unless you happen to own a $300 Oculus VR headset, which most of us don't have. So Kathy tried their automated program, but says it didn't work.
They asked me to send in a picture of myself, which I did. And after that, I found out my page was shut down. All access was denied.
So don't let this happen to you. Cybersecurity experts say set up two-factor authentication so you get a text if someone tries to change your password. Don't use the same password on Facebook and other sites. And don't open emails that appear to come from Facebook. They're usually phishing scams.
I guess it can happen to anybody.
Finally, never Google Facebook for their phone number. You may end up getting a scammer who will then ask for your credit card. So don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries, WMAR-T News.
Most bank fees are rising this year, even as more people say they're living paycheck to paycheck. Overdraft fees rose 11 cents from last year to an average of $33.58. That's according to a new bank rate study. The study also found the average monthly fees on interest checking accounts reached a record high, and that the average balance required to avoid those fees rose an average of 31%. But there is some good news. Banks offered more free checking accounts this past year, and the average ATM fees also went down slightly. Gas prices continue to rise. Right now, the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded stands at $3.38 a gallon. That's up 20 cents from a month ago. Here in Maryland, we're paying on average about $3.36 a gallon. Experts say demand has gone up while the supply is tight. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Today marked the American Cancer Society's 20th annual Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk. The event was back in person this year after it was held virtually because of the pandemic. The walk was free to attend, but the organization encouraged people to donate to find a cure.
Unfortunately, more than 281,000 women are going to be diagnosed with breast cancer this year. So we're here today to raise funds for people to get their mammograms and awareness.
About 2,000 people participated in today's walk, helping raise $160,000. The walk, just over 3 miles, started and ended at the Y on East 33rd Street after heading around Lake Montebello. And to mark Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I'll be hosting a pink table talk on Facebook Live. The goal is to make sure people know the risks of breast cancer, how to talk to their doctors, and learn more about their options. So 4 breast cancer experts from the University of Maryland St. Joseph Medical Center will join me Thursday at 1 p.m. They will answer your questions live. So check out the WMAR 2 News Facebook page, and you can send any questions ahead of time to me at Mallory@WMAR.com. The Robert I. Daney Race for Our Kids kicked off today. More than 800 participants laced up their sneakers for Sinai Hospital's 18th annual Race for Our Kids at the Maryland Zoo. It benefits children at the Samuelson Children's Hospital at Sinai, the Baltimore Child Abuse Center, and the Save a Limb Fund at the Rubin Institute. Thanks to runners, walkers, and corporate sponsors, today's race raised more than $137,000. Our own Jamie Costello there served as the MC, and he also brought his kids out for the day.
And now from WMAR 2 News, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Sabrina Fun. Well, we saw in that video a lot of people were out there with their thick coats on, maybe even some of their winter hats. You will not need that tomorrow. We are going to have an extremely warm air mass in place. That's going to collide with a cold front in the evening, leading to a round of severe thunderstorms. For now, though, we're still dealing with partly cloudy skies. When the warm front comes through, that's when we'll notice the clouds increasing. The radar right now not picking up on anything here. I think a lot of this here is just ground clutter. So we're still staying fairly dry. The shower activity is a ways away from us, anticipated to arrive most likely in about the next 20 to 24 hours. Temperatures ahead of the rain are fairly mild. I'd go ahead and call it warm for this time of year. How about that for you? Chestertown now at 60 degrees. Good evening in Bel Air. You're also sitting at 60. And look at this warmer air out over towards Inner Harbor, right around 63. That is normally our high for the entire day. And that's where we are at 11 o'clock this evening. It's all in part due to a very warm southerly wind. And you can see that warm wind is not only going to be with us for now, averaging about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but we'll see it for a good chunk of your Monday. And then it collides with the cold front. That's what's then going to shift the wind direction, getting us a little bit cooler, so maybe those winter coats having to come back out by the time we get on into Tuesday. Right now, though, we're looking at that warm front stretching throughout that region and continuing to watch for the heaviest shower activity to arrive later on. So first you'll notice temperatures 10 degrees warmer than normal for us on our Monday. That puts us into the mid-70s. We will see mostly cloudy skies. Still going to see breaks of sunshine, though. But overall, a really pleasant day throughout the morning, the afternoon. Nice to take your dog on an extra walk, take the kiddos out to the park. Do it early though, because when this cold front approaches, that's when we do have that threat of severe weather where we could actually see some gusts, damaging gusts, up to about 58 miles per hour, and we can't rule out an isolated tornado. So my colleague Patrick Pete will be here for you if anything does eventually pop up. That storm system's out of here by Tuesday, but look, the center of it, that low pressure, stays off the coastline. We're on the backside, still spinning in these outer bands of rain, especially the eastern portions of Maryland could end up seeing about an inch in precipitation. Everyone, though, will see breezy conditions. We'll call it 10 to 15 miles per hour, but gusts closer to about 25 miles per hour, coupled with the fact that temperatures are going to fall back to seasonal levels into the mid-60s, maybe feeling a little bit cooler. So your Monday, it is warm. We will see breaks of sunshine, but overall going mostly cloudy until those storms begin to pop for you. Here at 9:30, seeing the lighter rain starting to try to move throughout the region in Towson and Baltimore. Then look at the yellows, the reds, even pockets of pink coming down really from Lancaster, PA, all the way out over toward D.C., including Baltimore, and even to Carroll County, moving now around 4 a.m. It looks like portions of northern Baltimore County out over toward Cecil County, continuing to deal with the heavy rainfall. We'll get a break from it early into Tuesday morning, but still going to call for shower activity later in the day. Your hourly forecast by noon, 71 degrees, showers picking up later into the afternoon. And we're not the only day dealing with the rain. We will see it again until the middle half of the work week. Temperatures tomorrow at 76. That's Look at Your 7-Day forecast. We'll be right back.
When stuff goes wrong and you need answers, Mallory Sofaste is working for you. Get in touch with Mallory directly. Mallory at WMAR.com.
WMAR 2 News is brought to you by the Snyder Law Group. Don't just sue them, Snyder them.
The pay is awesome.
It allowed me to make a little extra income.
It's a competitive wage.
It is very easy to find opportunity to go up in pay scale.
We're gonna be late.
Oh, so Teddy's coming with us.
He has to.
Oh, what have you been feeding him?
It's moments like these when you'll appreciate the extra space in a Volkswagen. The 2021 Atlas, Atlas Crossport, and Tiguan have more passenger volume than their respective Toyota competitors. Life fits in a Volkswagen. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 36 months on the 2021 Atlas, Atlas Crossport, or Tiguan.
At M&T Bank Stadium and in Grandma's basement. On starry nights and Sunday afternoons. In Baltimore City and in the burbs. With your best friend and your other best friend. From the road and right at home. For those born into it and those married into it, football brings us together. Here's to Baltimore's team from Baltimore's Bank.
I just wanted to be able to see without glasses and contacts. From start to finish with Dr. Gold, the entire process was completely comfortable.
The goal of Gold Vision is to offer a refractive solution destination for patients. One of the most amazing things about the Smile Laser Eye Surgery is that the very next day, you can hit the beach, hit the pool, everything with no restrictions.
Thanks to Dr. Gold and Gold Vision, I now see more than perfect. My vision is 20/15.
Gold Vision is proud to be the official LASIK and Smile provider of the Baltimore Ravens.
My son was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and dialing 410 The Firm was the best decision we ever made. They are aggressive. They get things done. When we sat down at the table, it was clear. Everyone knew who the Snyder Law Group was. We were taking on a giant institution, and this giant institution was scared of my lawyers. The Snyder Law Group made sure that my son was set for life. Call 410 The Firm now. Don't just sue them, Snyder them.
Is your car giving you a field day?
Bring it in. We'll fix that.
Right now at NTB, save up to $100 on 4 select tires, including the Continental Sure Contact LX. Only at NTB. Congratulations to everyone who took part in WMAR's Fill the House fundraiser and helped support victims of intimate relationship abuse. Thanks to your contributions, we filled this truck with donations, all going to House of Ruth Maryland for women and children in need.
I saw you guys announce it on TV. I love House of Ruth and what they do, and I couldn't wait to help.
They're our neighbors, so we should help them.
Every year, I try to come back and pay it forward.
From everyone here at WMAR 2 News, thank you for making a difference and helping us fill the house.
Growing concerns over the supply chain crisis ahead of the holidays. As ABC's Deidre Bolton reports, Americans are likely to see more and more empty shelves in the coming months.
Workers here at the port are now working around the clock.
Tonight, global supply chain slowdowns and labor shortages are exacerbating an ongoing crisis.
Labor supply is depressed by the pandemic. That's because of health concerns, because of child care.
These wedding dresses ordered in January finally arriving this week.
Calls are coming in every hour on the hour pertaining to shipping.
Lindsay Merlo had to reorder her wedding gown after receiving the wrong one.
Get the ring, get the dress. It meant everything in the world to have the dress that I fell in love with. One little mistake can happen and it can just really change your timeline.
It arrived with only days to spare. Delays at every link in the supply chain, keeping goods out of consumer hands.
Boats can't get into the ports because there's such a backlog. Truck drivers are also in short supply.
Most experts say order early. Inventory is lean and expect costs to creep higher from here.
This holiday shopping season is unlike anything we've seen in the past.
The Postmaster General, widely criticized last year, now telling the Wall Street Journal that with more seasonal workers and warehouses, the agency is, quote, going to kill it in this unusual year. Deirdre Bolton, ABC News, New York.
You're right, Sunday's way better. Oh, no, you can't have this. I'm sorry.
There's a deal for every moment. Right now, mix and match 2 favorites for just $3.50.
This is how you find an amazing restaurant. This is how you get there in style. And this is how you make sure you don't miss a thing. Introducing the new self-fitting, direct-to-consumer Bose sound control hearing aids. They pair with the Bose Hear app, the first self-tuning mobile app that's clinically proven to provide audiologist-quality customization for adults with mild to moderate hearing loss. We're putting hearing in your hands.
You know how we're not supposed to reinvent the wheel? Mm-hmm. Why is it good that we keep reinventing the tire? And why is it bad to have your wheels spinning, but it's good to keep your wheels turning?
I don't know, sounds like a loophole.
Right now at NTB, save up to $100 on 4 select tires, including the Continental SureContact LX.
Oh, I get it. Loophole, like a tire.
I guess.
Every day, the sun rises and our water is clean. Our packages arrive and our lights turn on, all thanks to federal employees. And as a nonprofit association, you're the reason GEHA puts members first, all 2 million of them, because everything GEHA stands for starts with you. GEHA.
The all-new Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months on the Tucson or lease for just $199 a month. Plus, get a $500 first responder or military coupon.
What I've learned from so many years of living with HIV is to enjoy every moment. My name is Hugo, and I'm on Biktarvy.
Biktarvy is a complete one-pill, once-a-day treatment used for HIV in certain adults. It's not a cure, but with one small pill, Biktarvy fights HIV to help you get to and stay undetectable. That's when the amount of virus is so low, it cannot be measured by a lab test. Serious side effects can occur, including kidney problems and kidney failure. Rare life-threatening side effects include a buildup of lactic acid and liver problems. Do not take Biktarvy if you take dofetilide or rifampin. Tell your doctor about all the medicines and supplements you take if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, or if you have kidney or liver problems, including hepatitis. If you have hepatitis B, do not stop taking Biktarvy without talking to your doctor. Common side effects were diarrhea, nausea, and headache. If you're living with HIV, keep loving who you are. And ask your doctor if Biktarvy is right for you.
A new spin on food delivery. Check this out. The owners of a food truck in Canada are using a remote-controlled monster truck to take meals to tables. They attach a trailer to each truck, put the order on it, and off it goes. They say fans seem to be both appreciative of the idea and find it entertaining.
Very entertaining. Something else entertaining will be the radar tomorrow, as we are anticipating strong storms rolling through the area over the evening, most likely between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. The main threat going to be damaging winds, but we could see an isolated tornado. Rainfall totals anywhere from ½ inch to 1 inch of rain. Temperatures, though, before the rain gets here will be warm at 76. Behind it on Tuesday, cooling down to 64. And then look ahead to next weekend, especially on Halloween. 65, mild, and just an isolated shower. Mallory?
Thank you, Sabrina. That's all for us. You can always get the latest news online at WMAR2news.com and on your favorite streaming device. And don't forget to join Good Morning Maryland starting at 4:30 a.m. Have a great night.